Hello everyone and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 7 press conference stream with me, Holly Shand, and we've got 9 Premier League press conferences to go through in the next couple of hours and plenty of time to answer your questions as well. As you can see on screen, we've already had a number of press conferences today and yesterday with some significant updates. So yesterday we had the press conferences from Everton, Fulham, Ipswich, Leicester, Southampton and West Ham. And then this morning we've heard from Brighton, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Liverpool and Spurs. But there's still plenty more to look out for. We've got the Man City press conference coming up in the next 5 minutes. Then at 1 o'clock we're going to hear from Chelsea and Wolves. At 1:30 it's Arsenal, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Manchester United and Nottingham Forest, followed by Aston Villa at 2 o'clock. So a massive thank you to everyone that has decided to join me this Friday lunchtime. If you are here, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and head over to the live chat because I'm going to say hello to a few people if you are here. We had a few in early. I must have a username. And Andy Burton were here before I was even here to set up the stream, so good to see you. Gazman was here early as well. Made transfers on Sunday, just outside the top 10k. What a start to the season for you. Loads of people in already, so it's great to see. VJ is in and modding and says subscribe to the channel. We've also got Light Rays in watching from Sydney, and we've just had John has come straight in and gifted 5 memberships. So I think these went out to people that were active in the chat early. So those that got them were Alex, Andy, Amin, Rub and George. We also got Medic Ant, who's just joined us at the Captain Pick tier and is in the WhatsApp group. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the support. And a super chat already in from Odin. Hey Holly, hope all is well. I'm doing really well. 446 points, top 30k. Come on, you Gunners. I think you've got the fixture this week. Also, will Diaz and Lewis start? I mean, Diaz, you need to join me for the deadline stream tomorrow in terms of Diaz start because it is the early kickoff. I wouldn't be surprised if Gakpo got the minutes. But let's wait till tomorrow before making a decision. Lewis, I think, will start. I think he's nailed now. I think in harder games, it'll be Walker and Vardiol in the fullback roles with Lewis as an out-and-out 8. I think in easier games, maybe this week we'll see Lewis as part of the back 4, but inverting into that 8 role. So, yeah, super exciting. Oh, I love this from Andy. Thanks to people like Holly, I can show my daughter that any game is for anyone. I love that. As a girl mum, I'm with you there. Thank you so much, John, for the gifted memberships. We've also got Shiraz in. FPL Spudjack is in watching from sunny Staffordshire. Mike's waiting on João Pedro news. Well, I can give you that news already. So let's jump across because I've got to have the tweet deck open because the City press conference is about to happen. But we have had some important updates this morning as well. João Pedro, the update on him, it sounds like his injury is long term. That is the bad news for João Pedro owners. Let me just get the exact quote up for you there. I will run through everything shortly. But yeah, this was what Hersler said. Van Heck, we know that he's out for a month to 6 weeks with a muscle tear. And this is what Hersler had to say on him. I think it's not as bad as João Pedro. We have to go week by week. So without kind of saying how long João Pedro's out for, we know it's long term. So João Pedro is now a sell. And we also have had news this morning that it was on Son, and I seem to have misplaced it already. So let me go find it again. I'm sure I had it bookmarked. Yeah, here it is. It was at the end. So Sonny is unlikely. He's pushing hard, but it's too soon. If he doesn't play for us, and it doesn't seem like he's close, it makes sense for him to miss the upcoming international breaks. As we know, the international breaks always make things a problem because managers are really reluctant to rush players back when it's the international break coming up, because then they have to allow them to go out on international duty. So we may see the same like for Foden, for example. Sorry, I'm just updating the breaking news bar at the bottom with that news on João Pedro, because I've kind of since realised that probably he's more important news than the speculative news that we're looking for on De Bruyne. But we will hear from Pep very, very shortly. So as I said, I did have the tweet deck open. Let me get that back up and see what's going on. I also need to check that I've not missed anything while we've been going live. So yeah, this is a full quote from Postecoglou. He's unlikely. He's pushing hard, but I don't think the turnaround will be quick enough for him to be available for us at this stage. So yeah, it's looking like Son is unfortunately a sell. The Man City press conference was advertised for 12:30, which is why we've gone live a little bit earlier today. But actually looking through the tweet deck, there doesn't seem to be... there we go. There's evidence that Pep is coming very soon. So obviously the big update we need from Pep is on the availability of De Bruyne. But it looks like, I think I saw something that he could potentially be out until after the international break, which wouldn't be a surprise. We saw an early sub for Haaland in the Champions League. He got a heavy tackle in the game against Newcastle. So hopefully he's fine. I'm sure he will be. But yeah, we'll see what is said from the manager very, very soon. I think I missed a super chat from VJ. Thank you, VJ. Admin is tuning in from Germany. He says, I've got João Pedro on my bench. Need to sell him next game week. Yeah, sell him now. I doubt we're going to see him before December. Reading between the lines. FPL Harry is in. Good to see you. What updates do you need before making your final decisions video? And let me know what rank you're at, Harry. Because I think there's a lot of managers panicking that they've had a poor start to the season. And, you know, I know you always come up with those solid finishes. John says, I'm not saying I can see the future, but I sold Son before last game week. 515k, there you go. That is a decent start. I would take that rank right now. Gaming is asking for replacements for Smith Rowe and Andreas. I think Andreas can go. I think Rodgers, Semenyo is where you want to go in that kind of budget midfield spot. I would be tempted to keep Smith Rowe. He's returned in every home game. Obviously, City away is not an easy game, but hopefully he's cheap enough that you can have him kind of flip-flopping between your 7th and 8th attacker, and you can maybe bench him for this one. Mike says, Pedro to Welbeck for a -4 or start Winks. I don't know if Welbeck's the one. I guess, and then this links in with Alex's question, is Welbeck worth the hold? I think, have you just seen Pep's like, I think with Welbeck, he is going to get the minutes, especially with João Pedro injured. So there are some positives there. However, is Welbeck the best pick at that price point? Now, Welbeck, let me just check his price. Because I think I'm going to have lost the tab I wanted now, aren't I? Where is it? There it is. Yeah, Welbeck's 5.8. I mean, if I was buying a budget forward, I still like Chris Wood. I still think Calvert-Lewin's a good option. They would be the ones. But I'm guessing if you're mentioning Welbeck, is that because you've only got 5.8 to spend? Jimenez, it's not the greatest entry point. Jamie Vardy isn't a long-term pick. So yeah, if you can't afford, you know, the Woods, the Calvert-Lewins, then Welbeck is okay. Can't afford Wood. But yeah, Wood and Calvert-Lewin if you can afford them over them. Right, let's jump back to the tweet deck because we don't want to miss anything. But yeah, Pep is late for his press conference is what City Extras posted. You know, you turn up, you start your stream half an hour early because Pep's press conference is early, and then what does he do? He turns up late. Erdin says, if I replace Diaz, who do I go to? I already have 2 million in the bank. Ideally, it's the Saka-Palmer combo. I think even if it takes a hit. If you don't want to take a hit, I think we need to be conscious that the international break is coming up. So if you can have at least a transfer going into the break, I'd really advise that over a hit. What about other Arsenal options? I guess this depends on if you've got a Palmer or a Saka already. I like Trossard. I think he's a great differential. Depends what you've got. So you've got Palmer, can't afford Saka. Have you got Havertz? I don't mind a Trossard at the moment. And Burmo is the natural one in this price bracket. But yeah, Trossard is up there for me. I would really consider him an option. So if you fancy that move, I think he's a great differential this week. I was on the Premier League's fantasy show earlier today and I did go with 9.9 million. I did go with Trossard as my differential for this week. I think he's a great pick. But yeah, and Burmo, if you've not got Burmo, he's the main one, and then Trossard after that, I would say. Hopefully that has answered your question. Can't believe we're hanging around for Pep already. I do want to go through all the injury news we've got so far, but obviously don't want to miss the Pep presser either. So we'll hang on for it, and I can answer some of your questions in the meantime. James A suggesting to bench Watkins. Absolutely not. He's a starter in my eyes. You can't bench Watkins. I'd love to own Watkins this week. Manchester United have been terrible. Look how terrible they've been defensively in their last few games. They're a team in demise, and it's a home game as well for Villa, I believe. And now I'm doubting myself. I'm pretty sure they're at home, aren't they? Yeah, they are at home. I'd love to have Watkins. I think he's a great pick. If you could build a team that has Haaland and Watkins, Saka, Palmer, and Burmo, then I think you're winning at FPL. For me, I was so close to going Watkins on wildcard last week. If you watched my deadline stream, I was literally all over the place. I could go Wood to Watkins if I downgraded Lewis to Vandenberg. So that's kind of in the back of my mind. No, sorry. If I can go Jackson to Watkins if I downgrade Lewis to Vandenberg. I've got a bit of money in the bank. Could be a move for over the break if I'm not priced out of it. I will have 3 free transfers coming out of the break. I don't know if Jackson will last past this week. I'm a little bit worried that Nkunku gets the spot because Jackson has continued to be wasteful and Nkunku continues to score in Europe. But Nkunku's going out on international duty for France, which I don't think will help him. Maresca's not been very complimentary of his fitness levels. It looks like Pep is in the house now, guys, so fingers crossed we'll get an update very soon. Aksha is in and modding. Good to see you, mate. Jane's asking whether to switch Salah out for Haaland. Yeah, absolutely. Have you seen City's fixture run? You've got to have him in. Oh, that's handy to know, Harry. What do you rate Jackson as a pick? I feel like Chelsea has scored the most goals this season. Palmer's pretty template. I think after Haaland, he's the most owned player in the game. So having Jackson there as an extra is kind of like, that's kind of why I've done it. Beardy is in. Good to see you, mate. It's so nice to have so many regulars in, guys. I feel like I'm getting to know everyone, and like having a few new faces in the WhatsApp members group chat is great as well. So do check that out. Click the join button on this video. Pep has apologised for being 8 minutes late. Good to see. Does he not know that there's 500 people on a live stream waiting for his comments? I missed this one as well from Andy. Strand Larson after game week 9 for a Pedro or Welbeck or Vardy replacement. Potentially, but I'd rather own Kuna. And I feel like it's really difficult to justify owning the second forward when you really want the first, especially when there's not a lot on price. Maybe you'll get some funds freed up at that point. Oh, Odin's an Arsenal fan and says he can't trust Trossard. Why not? I guess for me, the only barrier to his minutes has been... The only barrier to his returns and him being a fantasy asset is his minutes. But with Odegaard out, I think he's going to play every game. John gets tempted by hits too easily. If you've got 2 or 3 transfers coming out of the break, then you'll be in a good spot. John giving a plug for the captain pick tier says, if you join as a captain pick tier, you get to chat with Holly on the WhatsApp group, but you do have to put up with John. I think you're doing yourself a disservice there. Of course he'll return. He was really, you know, among the returns last time out, and his underlying numbers are great as well. Right, is Pep going to give us any updates? It's De Bruyne that we want the update on, yeah? That's the one that we're looking out for. And then, of course, after that, I'll be able to go through all the other kind of breaking news. Andy Burton's predicting 2-1 to United. As a Villa fan, don't trust the defence. Alex, Smith Rowe v McNeil, who would you pick? I'd probably go McNeil, you know. Just. Oh, Simon's laid in bed with the plague. But with other news, with under 3% ownership, Trossard is a massive differential this week. Also join the WhatsApp. Hope you're feeling better for soon, Simon. Yeah, I love Trossard. Yeah, Everton was yesterday. No, there was no update on Mikalenko. I think, is there rumours on Mikalenko? Did someone say that? Yeah, the Everton presser was yesterday, and there was updates on Branthwaite and Patterson. There's rumours going around this morning. So Branthwaite has suffered a quad injury in training. But yeah, there's rumours going around that Mikalenko will miss the next 2 to 3 weeks because of a calf injury. But no report from the club. I don't think I've seen like a solid source yet. That's what I will say. We've not got a solid source on that. But yeah, if the rumours are to be believed, then Mikalenko has an injury and could be out for the next 2 to 3 weeks. I'll report on that shortly. We're still waiting for the big news from the Pep presser. We're seemingly talking about things that aren't relevant to FPL at the moment, which is standard, I guess. We've had a new member. Ali Razor, you've been a member before, haven't you? Welcome to the budget pick, though. Appreciate the support. Yeah, I think over summer I did change the tiers, so maybe that was why. Anyway, good to see you back. Is Martinelli a good pick? I guess again, with Odegaard out, Trossard is a starter. That means that Martinelli is getting more minutes. They're both the same price. I trust Trossard more than I trust Martinelli. I feel like he's got a bit more. But when Calafiori plays, I think that helps Martinelli. This is a rumour at the moment. Harry says, do we have anything on Odegaard? Yeah, we did. There was an update midweek that I don't know if it was from the club, but it made it sound like he's going to be out for a while. Hang on. That's not me bookmarks, is it? I'll get there, won't I? I've still got the pet presser on in the background, by the way, guys, so... I definitely saw something earlier in the week on Odegaard. I think it was from the pre-match Champions League presser. I can't find it at the moment though, so I'm going to have a delve. I'll have a delve on a different tab, and then if I find it, I'll bring it. But yeah, it did sound like it was going to be a while longer. Good update from Pep. Everyone is fine except from Ake, De Bruyne, Rodri and Oscar Bob. I think we had a vague return to play for De Bruyne for after the international break, so whether he's going to be specific on that, I don't know. I was going to have a look what Premier Injuries was saying actually for Odegaard. I think the target is a Liverpool game. Where are we? Arsenal. But yeah, they can't rush him back and risk re-injury, can they? Sorry, I'm just trying to find the update. I mean, Arteta has been very vague so far, so we can't really trust a word that he says. I guess that's the big takeaway at the moment. Yeah, I'm just waiting for an update from Pep on kind of the return to play for De Bruyne. And this is what we knew, that he wasn't going to be part of the Belgium squad over the break. So I guess reading between the lines, it's going to be at least game week 8 until he returns. The big concern is that against Newcastle, Manchester City didn't look that great creatively. Obviously, Savio didn't start that game. Neither did Foden. Hopefully Foden's due a start. Whether that's something that Pep says. Remember though, obviously we've got the press conference today, but there will be some embargoed quotes from this press conference that will be released around 10:30 tonight. So that may give us some context. And some reassurance from Pep that Haaland is fine for following that early sub in the week. Which I said at the start there was a slight concern on Haaland because he had a couple of heavy knocks, but yeah, he's absolutely fine. We don't need to worry. I think he was subbed around a 60 mark in the Champions League. Right, I'm not sure whether Pep's going to be giving us anything else at the moment. What I want to hear from you, can't get my words out. Obviously, the updates on my breaking team news are on Son, João Pedro and Isak. Let me know in the chat if De Bruyne being ruled out deserves to oust either of those three from the team news banner? Let me know. Lots of love in the chat for John Duran, and I think with injuries, I mean, the Aston Villa press conference is going to be important because we saw issues for Onana, Murphy and Bailey in the Champions League in midweek, and in terms of getting an 11 out, you would think that maybe Duran would start this game, but his longevity long term, I'm not sure of. I'm not having a rush on people saying De Bruyne news needs to push out Isak, João Pedro or Son in the breaking news. So we'll leave it there, shall we? Let's see if there's anything else from Pep. Nope, don't think there's anything really significant there. I'll leave Shiraz in charge of who goes where on the breaking news. Right, I've got the tweet deck still open on my screen, so if anything comes up, then we can cover it. But let's go through everything that we know so far. So everyone's fine for City other than Ake, De Bruyne, Rodri and Bob. De Bruyne won't play against Fulham and he's not going out on international duty with Belgium either. There are rumours, but only rumours at this point, that Mykolenko's picked up a calf injury. Everton's press conference was yesterday. This news is going around today. Chiesa with an issue for Liverpool. Udogie should be okay. He didn't travel for Europa League action yesterday, but Son is a big doubt. He's pushing hard, but it is too soon. And he'll also miss international duty as well. This is interesting, by the way, guys. There is a little bit of chat on De Bruyne's future for Belgium, because it sounds like he's not going to be part of the squad in November either for the next international break. The Club World Cup to blame. But yeah, potentially he will prioritise league action, which probably is wise in his position. Sorry, I just got a bit distracted there with what else is going on. No injury updates at Fulham. This was the Herzler one. Van Heck, who we know is out until November, Herzler said it's not as bad an injury as João Pedro, which suggests that João Pedro is going to be out for at least 6 weeks. Maybe we see him at the end of the international break in November or into December. Adingra is a doubt for Belgium, but Veltman has recovered from illness, and it's great to see Solly March back in contention after a year out through injuries. Be good to see him back, see kind of what kind of form he can play his way into. Tyler Adams, the only issue for Bournemouth. The early substitution at half-time for Rashford was tactical, according to Ten Hag. We will hear from Ten Hag shortly. There's going to be a rotation with Garnacho, which comes as no surprise. This was the update from Eddie Howe. Isak will not make the game. We hope he will be back after the break. Callum Wilson, 2. Pope, Trippier and Cher should be okay. Dubravka took a whack to his knee, but it won't be serious. So, yeah, bit of doubt in the goalkeeper spot for Newcastle. Fulkrug remains sidelined for West Ham, but everyone else is available. Hopefully he'll be ready after the international break. No new news for Southampton. Stevens had a 2-match suspension. No, a 3-match suspension, but he's since been given another 2-match suspension around the same red card for abusive language. Chowdhury on his way back for Leicester. Kajuste out again for Ipswich. We'll hear from Arteta soon. But Timber will be assessed after coming off in the Champions League. Hopefully we'll get updates on White and Calafiori as well. So that was all the news that we have so far. I think that glitched somewhere along the line, but never mind. Yeah, so we've now heard from Pep at 1 o'clock, so in about 5 minutes time we're going to hear from Chelsea and also from Wolves, and then at 1:30 it's Arsenal, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Manchester United, Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa. Have I even shown you my team yet? I don't know if I have, you know. Maybe I haven't. While we wait for the next couple of press conferences then, what I would like to talk about is that the Football Content Awards are coming up very soon, and I've been nominated once again for Best in Fantasy Football. This time it's the creators category. There's been a bit of a change in the voting, but yeah, I've also been nominated for the Best in Video Creators, which is a wider category at the FCAs as well. So if you would like to vote for me at the Football Content Awards, make sure that you click the link in the description or in the chat. That will take you to the Football Content Awards website, and then you just need to cast your vote for me if you'd like to vote for me in the relevant categories. So I think to be fair, the FPL one is pretty stacked, but Best in Video Creators, you can vote for me there, and then the Best in Fantasy Football, I voted for Hub for organisation because I do a lot of work for them. But yeah, you can vote for me in Best in Fantasy Football Creator as well. I'm super excited to go to the FCA. It's at the Spurs Stadium this year, so if you would like to vote for me, that's what you need to do. Just vote, make sure you vote either way. Vote for your favourite FPL content creator. There's a lot of us in there. Few in the chat today. Harry's in. I think I've just seen my mate Gianni in as well. Let me vote. Yeah, if you don't vote for me, vote for Gianni. I won last year. Are you going, Gianni? He's put I'm in capital letters, but I'm not sure what he means by I'm in. Oh, I've got you can take the credit then for the win. You could have been the deciding vote. John's getting the award emojis out in the chat. Hopefully I can get producer Mark to build a new version for this year. Harry's crying. Are you going, Harry? I haven't seen you seeking votes. You're nominated though, yeah? Surely you're nominated. Oh, I love this from Shiraz. FPL Green Room next year. You never know. Me and Gianni love doing a pod. It looks like Oliver Glasner is coming up shortly, or at least people are there ready to watch. And yeah, make sure you go check this video out from Gianni yesterday. A really important one, talking about mental health around FPL. I know Gianni had a very tough last few weeks, personally, outside of FPL. Yeah, and FPL should be the light relief in our lives. I think the main message was that there's more important stuff than FPL. Just got back from the same walk. Yeah, I'm loving the walks at the moment. I've got a nice scenic walk on the school run that I'm really enjoying right now as well. Right, so we're waiting for the Chelsea and the Wolves press conferences that are meant to be coming up any time. But while we're waiting for them, it looks like Pep's presser has concluded with nothing else significant on there for us to go through. So drop your questions in the chat and we'll do some of those while we're waiting for the next batch of press conferences to come through. See what questions you've got. Shall I put my team on screen? Obviously, I'll keep the tweet deck open on my screen, so that if they start, then we're well covered. Scott says, I have Trent and Salah, no Arsenal players, 1 free transfer. Would you bring in Gabriel, Vardiol or Saka? 2 transfers for a -4. I think I'd bring in Saka. Salah to Saka. If we look at... it's the funds it frees up as well, isn't it? So Saka's predicted to score 7.5 points. It's not that, there's not a lot in it, is there? Gabriel is predicted to be the highest scoring defender this week. So I think you're on the right lines. I think you've got to trust your gut on this one though, because you could be undone. Is Calvert-Lewin worth a -4? Absolutely not. Apparently my team looks solid. I hope so. I wildcarded last week. If I successfully roll the transfer going into game week 7, which I'm not planning on making a transfer as much as I'd like to own Watkins this week, I'll have 3 free transfers after the break. And it's the first time that I'll have done that because I've been using transfers like nobody's business. And I think the big advice is if you can try and roll at least 1 transfer, that would be good. To have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 if you've managed it, ultimate flex, but to have at least 2 coming off the break is great. It's really hard to take a hit going into the break because you get these like weird international break avoidance things going on. Colin says, any news on Ben White? No, the Arsenal presser is scheduled for 1:30. Arteta's been like 10 minutes early the last few weeks though, so don't go anywhere because it could be coming up fairly soon. Do we think that Watkins matches Haaland this week? I'd be surprised. I think Haaland's got a massive ceiling this week. Looks like Maresca is in, so I will jump to the tweet deck. So Chukwuemeka missed out on the Europa Conference League squad with illness. Gary O'Neill's pre-Brentford press conference is underway as well. So yeah, comments coming through from both Chelsea and Wolves in the next few minutes. We've got a super chat in from Izzy Gaming. She says, Eze to Maddison for a hit. I think looking at Eze's fixtures, a move away is wise. Whether it's for a hit, I don't know whether that's worth it. I would sooner own Mbeumo if you don't own Mbeumo already, and I would sooner own a Trossard maybe if you're not tripled up on Arsenal, or a Martinelli if you prefer Martinelli, before I'd look to Maddison. You've got Maddison, you've got Kulu, you've got Brennan Johnson. There's lots of choice there. I don't know whether Maddison would be my top pick. I feel like Solanke is the route into the Spurs attack that I'm really looking at the moment. So whether it's worth a hit or not, probably, but I don't know if Maddison's the one. But yeah, if you've not got Mbeumo, go there. If you're not tripled up on Arsenal, Trossard is great. Thank you for the super. Mohammed, 3 free transfers. Should I get Haaland and a 6.6 mid or maintain Salah and Watkins? I really don't like selling Watkins, but Haaland's a must-have. So keep Haaland. John Paul's asking for news on the Onana injury. Gonna have to wait till 2 o'clock, so another hour for Aston Villa news. Yeah, this is an interesting one for Gordon. They're away from home this week, and his away form is not great. Yeah, I think if I was going for a Spurs midfielder, I'd probably go Johnson as well myself. Gianni just said Gordon on pens too. FPL Spudjack says Murillo to Lewis and Smith Rowe to what 5.5 million or less midfielder. I don't think that -4 is paying off for you. I don't think I'd do that at all. Only Chelsea injury news is that Reece James remains unavailable for Nottingham Forest. Sancho or Johnson? Sancho's tempting. Johnson's been so consistent though. I think game week 9 onwards, I think even this week, I think I prefer the Spurs fixtures to the Chelsea fixtures. Goldhead. Sell Watkins or roll and have 3 free transfers. Could punt Slanky or Jackson. Why are you selling Watkins? He's not a sell, he's a buy. Happy birthday for tomorrow, Ethan. Hope you have a good day. Will you be starting your day with an FPL deadline stream? Keep or sell Lewis? I think you keep Lewis. I think Lewis will start most games. Arteta is here. That is good. I told you he likes to be early. Can we get to 200 likes? Surely we can get to 200 likes. What are we at now? 120, 143? Oh, not too bad. We've had a super chat in from Lee Y10. Who to bench? Semenyo or Mavididi? Mavididi's the home game, isn't he? But Semenyo's like plays the 90. I think it's Mavididi's got to be on the bench. I like that punt though in your team. Like that spot. Having that spot is nice. Yeah, play and roll is the play. Van Dijk or Van de Ven? I don't know if I'd go either, you know. That 6 million price point is Arsenal City defenders for me. Harry says shout out Mavididi. Yeah, I feel bad saying bench him. That's such a nice call to have a player like that in your squad. But yeah, this week, dude, somewhere does it. The experts own Semenyo and Wood, and they're benching Wood in their team this week. We have had a lot of bench points, so slightly concerned on that one. So yeah, the update from Chelsea was that Reece James is the only one injured. We've not had an injury update from Wolves yet. Yeah, I was going to say that as well. Shiraz is wanting a green room live stream. I'm doing a deadline stream tomorrow. I imagine Gianni's... Is Gianni doing a deadline stream tomorrow? Ashley's late because he's been at the nursery run. You've not missed too much in terms of the press conferences so far. No new news from City with De Bruyne out. Reece James, the only injury from Chelsea. I think that's all we've had so far, but we have had big news earlier in the day. That Son is unlikely to be fit and won't feature in the international break. João Pedro out long term with injury, and Alexander Isak has been ruled out until after the international break as well. Oh, Gianni is doing a deadline stream tomorrow, so you're going to have to choose between us. Can you double watch? 2 screens? Headphone in each ear? That'd probably be annoying. Simon shouting out Evan Nielsen. I don't think Leicester are any pushovers at home, though. I mean, which channel were you with first, Simon? I mean, you could well still be in bed ill. I hope you're not. I don't mind. If you're not tuning into me, tune into Gianni. Edvin, would you start Konza or Dunk? Or free transferring someone like Vardiol or Saliba? I'd just start one of them. I feel like it's a bit sideways to go elsewhere. Konza or Dunk? Konza. Fordy with a super chat, thank you. Trent and Jota. Is Trent and Jota better than Porro and Saka? Oh, Trent and Jota to Porro and Saka. Or Palmer for a -4. This is a tough one. I would sell Trent and Jota for one of Saka or Palmer. If you can get to Saka in less moves, maybe Saka. I don't know how much I love Porro. Could you go Palmer and someone cheaper than Porro? That's what I'd do. If you're not a Lewis owner, you could go Lewis. If you don't fancy Lewis, you could go with, like, I was going to say a Forest defender, but they're not that great for this week. Maybe a Brentford defender is a cheap one. Simon, don't be bringing custody into battles into FPL. This is your safe place, mate. When do I think Robot Haaland will be rested or benched? He didn't play last midweek in the League Cup, and he only played 60 in the Champions League. So I think in terms of his rest, that is his rest. Team news. From Wolves. Dawson's trained a bit this week, but not fully, so I don't know if he'll be back. Bastian is still out, but getting closer, and hopefully we'll train with the group next week. So maybe Wolves aren't in as bad a place as they were against Liverpool. They didn't perform badly against Liverpool. They've had such a bad start to the season, and lots of bad luck with injuries as well, which hasn't helped. We're up to 800 of you in now and watching. Well, VJ's not very happy that only 1 in 4 is liked. So hit that like button, guys. And Cameron asked for Arsenal news coming up shortly. So this is the schedule. So we have heard from City, Chelsea and Wolves on this stream now. And at 1:30, we've got Arsenal, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Manchester United and Nottingham Forest before a big update from Aston Villa at 2 o'clock. So what I would say is Arteta has been early the last few weeks, so we could see him very soon. So keep a lookout for that one. I'm just going to show you this from the Wolves presser. O'Neill's flexible in terms of who can play where to get some centre-backs in. I don't know whether that's the best strategy, but I guess if you need to get a team out, you need to get a team out. So we could have 10-15 minutes until the Arsenal presser and the later ones. One thing that I wanted to float by with you guys, it was around this time last year that I did a charity stream. So I think it's definitely in October last year. I did a charity stream for Cancer Research UK. I mean, looking at the press conference times today, those times are ideal to have a marathon press conference stream. I think the charity stream I did last year, I went from the press conferences into the deadline on a Friday deadline. So I think I streamed from like 12:30 to 6:30. But what I've noticed is that quite a few of the press conferences are a bit more strung out this season. So I'm tempted to do like a 9 till 3 marathon press conference stream for charity in the next few weeks. And there's a few weeks that I can't do. But what I want to know from you guys is, do you think a 9 till 3 charity stream is the way to go? Or would you like to see one where there's a Friday deadline where I start with the presses into the deadline? Because I feel like there's enough to talk about. I mean, to be fair, I think I raised about £500 last year for Cancer Research. So it was well worth doing. I did get pretty tired towards the end, I'm not going to lie. The 25th of October, it's not going to work on that day. Annoyingly, I would have liked to have done the 18th of October, but I've got to go into my kids' school first thing in the morning, which would mean that I could potentially miss the 9 a.m. presses. The thing is, you don't know what time the press conferences are till the Friday. But yeah, it could potentially be like a 9:30 till 2:30. I could potentially do it for game week 8. But I'd be annoyed if I missed the 9 o'clock press conference. So do you think it's a good idea? Would you be up for watching and supporting? And what charity would you like to support? I think I'll probably do the fundraising off YouTube. So I'll probably turn off like the super chats and stuff like that. I'd do the fundraising off YouTube on like just giving or something. Last year I did it for Cancer Research UK, which is a charity that's close to me. But I am open to doing it for another charity if you guys have got any suggestions. FPL Amateur says Macmillan. Yeah, good one. I think someone else said about doing one for mental health, which could do it for Mind. British 87 said would support Cancer Research at any time. I know it's difficult because I'm conscious that there's a lot of you that maybe are international watchers, and Cancer Research UK is very UK focused. But yeah, it is on my radar. I am going to schedule it soon. I could potentially make it work for the 18th of October. I just don't want to miss the 9 o'clock presses. But yeah, keep an eye out for it because it could pop up a bit last minute. I think if we had word like, if there was a third, it tends to be the 9 a.m. ones tend to be Brighton, like the Brighton presser. If the Brighton one was on the Thursday, for example, then I'd know. Is anyone against that one? But yeah, I just don't want to be on and then ideally I'd do it next week. Not next week, the week after, when it's the international break, coming back from the international break. But if the Brighton presser is at 9 a.m, I'd miss it because I couldn't start until 9:30. I'm just looking back. Some weeks it's like the Liverpool presser's been at 9, and then I'd miss that one, and that feels a bit pointless. But then some weeks the Liverpool presser's, like this week, it wasn't until a bit later, so it's kind of hard to know. I don't want to miss any pressers, but I also don't want a day where there's a massive gap. Like today, it would have been ideal. So I'm going to have to play it by ear a little bit. FPL Amateur says, could you arrange some guests? Yeah, I mean, if Harry is still here or Jan is still here, I mean, first of all, I'd have to figure out how to get guests on. I think I know how to do it. Not that I don't know how to get guests on, but how to like add a Zoom call to this. So we could get some tech issues. I definitely need some guests. Because last time when I did it, I was talking for 5 hours straight. It was muting. Apparently there's some issue with the audio, according to Andy. Was it on the other page? It froze. And we're having tech issues now, look. It says excellent connection. Was it just when I changed pages, or was it on the other screen? Can't get my words out today. Hopefully everything's running fine. Everyone else says it's okay. Okay, we're all right then. Right, here we go from Arteta. Timber and White. There is a decision to make this afternoon. They are close. Tomiyasu as well. So basically, Arteta's got options. So that's not very helpful, is it? So Timber, White and Tomiyasu are all close. I mean, I don't know what you do if you own one of them. I mean, surely Calafiori starts this game because he's the only one that's not injured. Here's the update on Odegaard. So Zinchenko's back after the international break, and then he said on Odegaard, it is very difficult. I expected still with the boot and a lot of things, but he's working so hard and he's pushing. So I think that means that Odegaard's out for a while longer, which is good if you were looking at bringing in Trossard this week. I'm just waiting to see if we can get any more info on this one. Let me know in the chat if you own one of these Arsenal fullbacks. Because I think even if you're Calafiori, you're maybe not that confident of the games, the game time. I don't know. I don't know where you go. I'm pleased it's not an issue that I've got in my team. I'll put it that way. I really want a proper return to play. Ben Dinnery is now reporting the late injury, potentially a late training injury for Mykolenko. Was not one of those covered in his Sean Dyche's pre-match press conference on Thursday. Young is an option on the left with Garner deputising on the right. I think the build-up of injuries does make things a little bit more attractive this week for Newcastle, even away from home. I mean, does anyone still own Gordon? I don't know, but yeah. I don't know whether we're going to get a proper time frame for Odegaard. Be nice to have one. Because Martinelli and Tomiyasu are better assets with Odegaard out the team. Havertz is doing well as well, to be fair. China's been unfortunate here. Mykolenko was his Lewis backup. I think Lewis will start though. Collins has got Ben White and João Pedro 0.6 in the back. Who should I sell? João Pedro. I think the thing is with Ben White, for example, I don't think he'll get minutes off the bench. I think he'll either start or he won't. João Pedro is not going to be involved. You can go from João Pedro to Wood or Calvert-Lewin, or one of the cheaper options if you want. If you can get funds to go up to a Solanke or a Jackson or a Watkins. I mean, Watkins is another push above, but... Yeah, still waiting for Arteta to tell us what exactly is going on in terms of return to play for Odegaard. So Arteta's just said that he's close. I mean, there's Calafiori, isn't there? There's Kiwior. This is interesting from Simon. I don't think Arteta will rush Odegaard back, even when he's back in training. Had recurring injuries at Real Madrid. He doesn't want that again. Yeah, I've got to agree with you there. Good swap for Eze with no money in the bank. How much is Eze nowadays? He is... Crikey, you have to scroll a long way to get to him. 6.8. Trossard's 6.9. Martinelli's 6.9. How much is in Vermo? 7.4. You're kind of looking then, dropping down to Sancho territory. McNeil territory. Yeah, I think potentially Keane will come back in now with the Branthwaite issue. Christopher's on wildcard this week. Draft day has Haaland. Well, it's got to be the Haaland draft. I don't love the players you've got round him. I think you need to make some compromises elsewhere because I don't think the balance is right. Yeah, Aït-Nouri, I think he was the best predicted defender around this price point on Hub over the next 5 game weeks when I did the AI video the other day. Is Trossard starting? Yes. While Odegaard out, Trossard is a starter. Son out, Arjun. Take a -4 for Saka or Johnson. I think you need to stay at that price point, so I'd say Saka. I mean, presumably you've got some reinforcements on the bench. So I would just start Timber and hope he starts. Because he looks good. And hopefully you've got a good first sub. Because I think you want him long term. Yeah, Harry said I thought that quote implied Odegaard was still in a boot, yeah? Yeah, that's kind of what I got from that as well. It's weird, like that. No, like we only seem to be getting this one angle of quotes at the moment. Let me just see if there's anything on the live blog or the Arsenal website that gives us a bit of a better understanding. No, they're behind. Let's try the Arsenal website. That is audio, so that's not particularly helpful. BBC Sport. Try there. Yeah, no, well, yeah, we've not got any better quotes at the moment. Unless I take the click bait. Was it Football London, which was the first one? So this is a bit more then. So Arteta on Timber and Tomiyasu had to modify training for a lot of players. It was the same today. There will be a decision to make this afternoon, yes or no. They are close and Tomiyasu is too. Arteta on Zinchenko and Odegaard. Martin is very difficult. I expected still with the boot and a lot of things. Yeah, it's still not great, is it? Yeah. We're kind of a bit... I'm just not loving the quotes. Does my Athletic account work? Because that's the other one I could try. Where's like the live commentary? I swear I used to have a live blog. I don't think there is though. Yeah, not sure on that one. There's a few bits popping up, but yeah, nothing solid. Oh, he obviously hasn't said anything. Just seeing if... Yeah, I don't think even Ben Dinner is adding anything helpful. I think we're just going to have to settle with that. Crystal Palace press conference has begun and Oliver Glasner said Franca is injured again. I don't expect that we'll play many games in 2024 for us. That's a shame. This is the next of the 1:30 press conferences. Palace are another side that, you know, have picked up a lot of injuries. Yeah, Eze's been really disappointing. It could have been so much better, but I think you could just gotta like take it all as it comes. Oh, we've got to 250 likes. That's amazing. Thank you, guys. I feel like it's not been as high energy today. I feel like maybe I have got... My desk is a sit-stand desk. So I could try standing. Maybe that'll give me a bit more energy. What do we think? It's just whether all the wires stretch and if we lose the green screen. Oh, look what's happened. We've lost the top of the green screen. I'm about to lose my... Does that work? Hang on. Let me just do a bit of admin. Just extend this. The trouble is I'm a midget. So I can't actually reach the top of my green screen without going on my tiptoes. Well, this is interesting. I still feel like it's a bit low, but... There's definitely some wires that are about to... That's a good height. How do we feel? Can you tell any difference now that I'm stood up? I think I can just drop it down a touch. There we go. What do we think? Stood up for the 1:30 pressers. Yeah, so we've heard from Arteta. We're waiting for the Brentford press conference. Crystal Palace one is in. Forest as well is coming up, and Manchester United. Shiraz says we want balloons and fireworks. I can't remember how to do them. What does that do? That's the balloons, but they don't work with the green screen. If I turn the green screen off temporarily, Now does it do it? That's better. What was it? Is it the thumbs up or something? Hang on, my arms aren't in. Ah, that's the fireworks. I think that one works with the green screen now. Let's turn the green screen back on. I can't get in shot. It's because I'm looking at what I'm doing. There we go. It's not quite effective. Maybe tomorrow. Oh, I feel better for standing up though. I do feel better for standing up. I look like I'm about to collect the Man of the Match award. Something's going a bit weird with them transitions, isn't it? I've just seen it struggling to go in and out. Arteta says Partey came back this summer in the best condition he's ever been at Arsenal. That's good for him, but he's not an FPL asset. The only other thing is it's a bit chilly in here. Looks like the Brentford presser is on its way as well. I feel like the desk needs to come down a touch. There we go. That's a good height. I'll get comfy. I'd never choose a sit-stand desk. I don't know if anyone has got one or fancied one. My husband bought it when he was in the midst of working from home all the time, and then he got a new job and now he barely ever works at home. So I've pinched the desk and the office space. But the office is like cold. So I've got like the storage heaters on. I mean, it's not too bad today. It's going to be cold in winter. What I need to do is get myself an electric blanket. Can definitely cover that on expenses. I'm just wanting to see if there's any better quotes from Arteta still. I don't think there will be. Definitely feel like I've got a bit sidetracked. Do we mind? I tell you what, if I do a charity stream, a marathon charity stream, I'm gonna have to do a bit of standing up. I do feel a bit more energized though. I feel like maybe it was a bit steady to start with. So hopefully you can see a difference. Maybe I'll start like quizzing you on whether you think I'm sitting or standing. I'll probably wriggle around a bit more. Have we all voted in the poll? We've had 1,300 votes in on the captain poll. That's impressive. Those of you that are bothering to go to the effort of voting in the poll, you can also go to the effort of liking the stream. One week I'm going to say that I want as many votes, as many likes on the stream as votes in the poll. We're nearly up to 300, which isn't bad. And also, if you're not subscribed and you're enjoying this stream, then hit the button. We've had about 40 new subscribers today, which is nice. The next subscriber target is 36,000. I mean, I'm going to be hard pushed to get there before the international break, given that we've only got 1.5 streams left. Soccerblock said Twitter suggesting no Gabriel in training. That wouldn't be great, would it? I mean, I can't see anything yet. Gabriel from people you follow. But what's your source? That's what I want to know. Twitter is very broad. So yeah, we're getting a few bits and bobs coming through from this press conference. We've heard from Arteta, we've heard a bit from Glasner. We're still waiting to hear from Brentford, Manchester United and Nottingham Forest. And then Aston Villa at 2 o'clock. So remember, 3 of their players went off with issues in the Champions League. Murphy, Onana and Bailey. So yeah, we need updates on those. I think we've got a few updates from Palace. Obviously the Franca thing. Riyad, Decore and Richards all remain out as well. Even Fabrizio's not giving us a return to play. So I'm just checking a few other tabs to see whether there's any kind of like alternative quotes. But I don't think there are. Shall we do some more of your questions? Oh yeah, we need to do a game of Villa press conference bingo. What time's it going to turn up this week? Scheduled for 2 o'clock. I don't think I've seen a picture yet. I can't remember what the Villa journo's called yet. Again. We're on Spanish time. There was one week where it was 3 o'clock. But I think the time moves. I always thought it was 2 o'clock. But we had one week it was 1:45. Another week it was 2:15. Some weeks it's 2:30. We just don't know whether we're coming or going with it. FPL Down Under guessing 2:09. Magic Ants guessing 2:13. So we're still half an hour away. Bonkers LFC says 2:10. I'm going to... Can I vote? I'm going to go rogue and say 1:59. Shiraz says 2:12. There's some updates coming from Ten Hag. Now, I think this is an embargoed press conference from last night. So, Mainu is a doubt. So, Manchester United played... Were they at home or away? They were away, weren't they? It looks from the pictures like they were away. So then there was kind of like his pre-match presser. Was like, yeah, here we go. Team news for Aston Villa. Provided the latest team news ahead of Sunday's clash with Villa. So yeah, you can see from the video that it's post-match. Mainu didn't make it. It was too big a risk. We have to wait and see if he can play, if he's fit enough or can start from the bench. Mount did not travel earlier this week, and it remains to be seen whether the England international is fit for the weekend. Hoyland returned from injury to score his first competitive goal of the season. Garnacho, Maguire are expected to be considered, as is Hoyland, Shaw, Malacia, Lindelof continuing their own recovery. Yoro, a long-term absentee. And then, yeah, we've got McGinn, we need to know from Aston Villa, Onana, Ramsey and Bailey, who I think was maybe just a bit of a knock. But yeah, that was the update then from Manchester United. So, yeah, I think we're doing okay here in terms of press conferences so far. So, we're still waiting for Brentford and Forest from the 1:30 press conferences, and then it's Emery at 2 o'clock. And I'm loving the amount of votes going in. I'll be so annoyed if it's 2:49 OG. I will stick around for it this week. As long as I can still make the score run, I will stick around for it this week, because it feels like an important one. Tiggy's copying me with 1:59. So Brand says 2:05. There's not a lot going in that 2:15 to 2:30. Andy's going for a 2:46. Math, and what is that? You made me laugh there. Yeah, interesting dilemma, this one. I mean, I think Onana will be rolled out, but we don't know yet. Savio, I just don't know if I've got the appetite for it. I weighed it up on wildcard last week, but ultimately ruled it out. Yeah, no fresh injury concerns for the Eagles. So Nottingham Forest, we're still waiting for their press conference. What was the other one? Brentford. And then Villa at 2. Esso's already wanting a roundup. I mean, I'll go through all the bookmarked posts shortly. But what we do know is that Son is unlikely to be fit for Spurs and won't travel over the break. João Pedro is out long term with an injury for Brighton. So he is now a sell. And at Arsenal, Timber White and Tomiyasu are all close. Isak has been ruled out until after the international break, as has Kevin De Bruyne. It's always when it's the Aston Villa press conference roulette that I start to need the loo. This is probably why I'm jiffling about so much. We might need to schedule in a little loo break. I don't know. Trouble is, if I go for a toilet break, you'll all clear off. You'll all clear off and leave me. What can I do to convince you to stay over a toilet break? I mean, it could set you some homework. Turn the music up. I'll probably forget to turn it back down again. Here's the Wolves, not the Wolves, the Brentford press conference. Schade and Odegaard. Try again. Schade and Norgard will be involved against Wolves, is the update from Brentford. BJ's offered to do a quiz. Love it. Oh, Rico Henry is trained with the first team this week. That's positive as well. Pleased to hear that. I think he's been out for just over a year now with an ACL. Well, I'll tell you what. If I go for a quick toilet break, if there's still 700 of you when I get back watching live, then I'll give away some memberships. And while you're waiting, you can go and vote for me at the Football Content Awards for Best in Video and Best in Fantasy Football. And I'll quick toilet break and then I'll be back. So yeah, I need to see at least 700 of you still here when I get back, and then I can I'll do some memberships when I get back. Okay? And we're back. That's better. It's the 12:30 starts. It's that extra half an hour that makes all of the difference. I don't know why, I just can't do it. I've missed Emery. You guys are winding me up, surely. I don't think I have. I can't see anything. I mean, there's loads of you still here, which is amazing, so thank you. So I think I will have to give some memberships. Neil says, just logged on late, got 3 adverts in a row, I need to get Holly on the loo break. Remember, if you spam the chat, that's going to give you a good chance of getting one of the memberships that I'm going to gift. I'm just making sure I've not missed anything important while I've been gone. Are we ready to gift some memberships then? I can't see everyone spamming the chat just yet. If you want a membership, you gotta go for it. Shiraz is gunning for one. Oh, here they all come. Bonkers wants one. I'm sure I've seen you as a member before. Amin's already got one, so you're okay. Beardy, you don't need one. Oh, there's loads that want the memberships, right? What do I need to do? Oh, no, that is membership. Membership gifting. How many are we going to do? Should we do 10? I don't know if I need to put in my bank card or whether it'll just go. Bye. Oh, you've seen me last 3 digits now. There we go. Give me a shout if you got one. Oh, Stephen's got one. Stridich, London Andy, Nelson, DeFarsha, Natasha. Oh, well, Stridix is happy. Simon Hart's got one. R4, D3, RZ, 1111. Femi's got one as well. Oh, well done, guys. Enjoy the channel memberships. There's lots of happy faces in the chat, which is great to see. Yeah, so I think we're still waiting on the Forest presser and the Villa presser, but it gives us a good opportunity to catch up with all of the other news that we've had through today. So if I just I'll give the bookmarks a quick refresh to make sure it's all up to date. So Rico Henry has trained with the first team for Brentford. Sharda and I've said Odegaard again. Sharda and Norgard will be involved against Wolves. Hoyland improving his fitness levels. Consistent fit season will help us. Mainu was too much of a risk for the Europa League. We'll have to see whether he's fit enough to start this week or be on the bench. Franca injured again for Crystal Palace. No new kind of news there. Potentially a late injury for Mikolenko, according to Ben Dinnery, that we've seen generally because we've already had Everton press conference. Yeah, a bit of confusion on the availability of giving the Arsenal fullbacks game time. Timber and White, decision to make this afternoon. They're close. Tomiyasu is close as well. From Wolves, Bueno is fine. Dawson's trained a bit this week. Probably sounds like he's not going to start though. Bastian getting closer but still out. And O'Neill has said that some of the fullbacks can play centre-back. Mario can also play there. We're in an okay spot. So there's, you know, a little bit of encouragement there in terms of players that are available. I don't think that Wolves are going to be in as bad a spot as they have been at other points, particularly last week. I mean, it wasn't a disaster, was it? We've got to consider that you know, it could have been a lot worse for them than it was against Liverpool. They kind of managed to find a way through that game. Harry's playing a game in the chat. Oh, gosh, I've clicked on the wrong thing there. I didn't want to go to your channel, Harry, no offence. Oh, I'm pinning it. So you've got to guess a number between 0 and 1,000. Chelsea, Reece James, the only injury issue. Chukwuemeka should have been in the Europa League squad but missed out with an illness. No new injury news from Man City. Haaland's fine after a few heavy knocks. De Bruyne, no total return to play timescale, but he's not available for tomorrow or for Belgium in the break. I think we've covered Mikolenko now. Chiesa, a late call for him for Liverpool. From Spurs, Udogie is back and okay. Son is unlikely. If he doesn't play, doesn't make sense for him to miss the upcoming internationals. No change to injury issues for Fulham. Oh, we've got FPL Raptor in and guessing on Harry's game as well. Give you a hint, the first two numbers add up to the third. I'll put my own guess in. And then this was from Hersler saying that Van Heck, who is out for a month, is not as badly injured and going to be back sooner than João Pedro. So João Pedro is definitely a sell. Adingra, a doubt for Brighton. Veltman has recovered from illness. March is back in contention for Brighton after a year out through injury, which is good to see. Tyler Adams, the only absentee for Bournemouth. The withdrawal of Marcus Rashford at half-time was tactical, according to Ten Hag. Garnacho and him sounds like they'll rotate. Isak will not make the game against Everton. Neither will Callum Wilson. So that means Gordon will be number 9 against the threadbare Everton defence and on pens. Pope, Trippier and Schär should be okay. Dubravka took a knock to the knee. Full Krug remains sidelined for West Ham. Hopefully back after the break. No new issues for Southampton. This is what we knew from Everton yesterday. Coleman's out a bit longer. Patterson, more common sense. Chowdhury only played 40 minutes of Premier League football this term, but is now set for a spell on the sidelines. Kajuse is out once again for Ipswich. That is your roundup. So we are only now waiting for the Forest and Villa press conferences. Oh, we've got a winner. FPL Harry says we have a winner. That was a good game. I enjoyed that, Harry. I mean, they're still coming. The chat's going wild. Love it. VJ with a super thanks as well. Tell us who the winner was then, Harry. And if I do a charity stream, Harry, will you come along and entertain in the chat for me? Borrow 10 minutes of your time. The trouble is now we don't know who the winner is. Autumn S 437. That was good fun. Well done, Autumn S. Right. Yeah, so as I said, we're still waiting for the Aston Villa and the Forest press conferences. Newcastle United clearly got a lot of faith in number 9 for this game, Anthony Gordon, against that Everton defence that is lacking some key personnel. Medicant's shown up to just remind me that my guess for the Villa presser has expired. I did say ambitiously 1:59. It's scheduled for 2 o'clock. So yeah, get your predictions in on when this Villa presser is going to be. Oh gosh, we've gone for a recount. We've gone for a recount. Is everything working okay? Because I keep getting messages saying that my encoder's overloaded. I don't even know what an encoder is. It's not going to help me, is it? My PC's starting to make noises. Oh, here we go. 2:01. Unai Emery has arrived for his press conference. Who didn't have faith in Unai? Who got the correct prediction there then? 2:01. I mean, I was only 2 minutes out. It was actually posted at 2 o'clock exactly. Now, there is a little bit of doubt. Like, do we actually know that Unai Emery is there? Is that a pre-scheduled tweet? But if he is there, that'll be amazing. I can't even scroll up any further on the chat to see who got the time right. I'm going to look for a bit of evidence of this press conference. But yeah. Oh, we've got some Forest news. Which is good. Difficult to give a timeline at Odegaard news. I think you can easily buy Trossard or Martinelli on that. This is the news from Forest. Gibbs White, very special player. It's important to have him back. How they plan to stop Palmer. We cannot ignore him. If we can prevent him. Danilo and Sonagre are both out. That is enough. The trouble is, I'm not seeing any of that reported on X. I can't even spell his name now. It is in Sangare. Is it like that? Sangare. We always struggle. It is always more effective. Just trying to see if there's anyone whose tweets I can bookmark. But yeah, there's nothing coming through on Twitter on either of those players. But yeah, that's the update from Forest. Danilo and Sangare are both out. Right, let's see what Unai's got to tell us then. If that's the scheduled tweet at 2 o'clock, I'm going to be fuming. I mean, if I knew it was 2 o'clock, I could probably have hung on and not had the toilet trip. But you just know when it could be 2:30. There's just a bit of jeopardy, isn't there? It's a 12:30 start. I mean, if Pep had told us that it was going to be 8 minutes late, we could have started 8 minutes later. Oh, VJ's gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, VJ. I think we're up to like 18 new members on this stream now. Oh, FPL Harry got one. FPL Down Under. Oh, pleased to see you've got one because you're doing a great job modding. FPL Amateur, Lewis Robson, Justin Phillips. Thank you, VJ. That's very kind. For some reason, I can't click on it. Any injury update on Mikalenko? Nothing new, nothing firm. But it looks like, yeah, 3 game weeks. 3 game weeks potentially. John's just gifted 5 memberships as well. Oh, that's amazing. That's 26 new members on this stream now. I think that's the second lot you've done, isn't it, John, today? You've done 5 and then another 5. This time, they go to Furious Johnson, Shaz, Daniel, Six String Theory. Oh, Shiraz has got one. Oh, well done, Shiraz. Glad to see it. Shiraz tunes in from Lebanon, and I know that, you know, outside of FPL, it's a tough time for him. So hopefully that can just bring a little bit of peace for you. Oh, that was the prize for guessing the game. It's like you've done it. Yeah, make sure you say thank you to whoever's gifted you a membership if you got one. I think it's for a month. And then it renews. To be fair, channel memberships. Obviously, we've had a few new members that the captain picked here, which is great because that's the WhatsApp. But yeah, in terms of your memberships, it's only $1.99 a month. And you get priority responses to comments and questions. There's occasionally some early releases of videos. I may do a few more early releases. You get your badges next to your name, the emojis. Yeah, prize getting Palmer for his 4 goals, got to be. I think that Aston Villa tweet was scheduled. Because there's nothing happening so far. They've been toying with us. You've missed the number guess game. I mean, someone else can set one up. Yeah, I think we've been played there. I think that was the scheduled tweet. Emery up next. There's still more press conferences to come. Emery has just arrived. Well, there we go. Maybe he's not toying with us. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. While we're waiting, still plenty of time for you to like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Harry's doing another one. Let's play a new game. Guessing number starting in my next message. This is nearly as exciting as waiting for Unai Emery's press conference. 0 and 20. Oh, go on. I'm in. I've got a guess in. I'm playing my own games in the chat. Is that sad? Lots of love for 9. Defarge is also going 19. Oh, I got it. Boom. I got it. Got married on the 19th. 19th of October. It's gonna be 11 long years in a couple of weeks. I'm actually on Sky that day, and it's my husband's birthday. Rigged. Oh, do I get a free subscription? Buzz in. Still getting strung along by Aston Villa in the meantime. How would I know? I've not got FPL Harry on speed dial. I swear. It is my wedding. I did get married on the 19th. That's why I went for it. Overlooked the kids' birthdays. Gone with the anniversary. I think it's because it's on my mind because it's coming soon. How can I have cheated? Oh, the abuse. I wouldn't cheat. Yeah, I've got FPL Harry. He's like sending me messages, letting me know what the number is so that I can win. Let's have a look at the results of the captain poll. Now, there we go. John says congrats on winning. So 72%. I mean, 1.6k votes is incredible. If the same number had bothered to like the stream. Here we go. Unai Emery confirms Jacob Ramsey and Leon Bailey are both doubts to feature, but hopefully Onana will be available for selection. I'm surprised at that. I thought Onana would be the most doubtful for this game. So that's a surprise. So Ramsey and Bailey are doubts. Onana will be available for selection. I think at that, I still think Duran could play because I think they're going to struggle to get enough bodies in midfield and they may need to just tweak their formation. Is there anyone here that owns Duran or thinks that he's got a chance of starting? Let me know what you think. You just look at the Aston Villa squad and you think, who are they going to start? Have we had an update on McGinn yet? No. Yeah, we're going to have to keep waiting. Come on, John Townley. More info. What? Let's just check the website, actually. This could be useful. I always forget about the Birmingham Mail. Oh, here we go. Sorry about all the pop-ups. Both are now doubts. I don't know if they're available on Sunday. They are so tight if they are available. Tomorrow we're going to train, but today they are doubtful. Onana is a doubt, but I think he will be available because it's not a really serious injury. But playing matches during the week and on the weekends, we have to be clinical in our decisions for the next match. There we go then. What about McGinn? Are we going to get something on McGinn? Do we think? Not sure. Some starting Duran. Dale's on slow mode membership, please. I think you're done. Oh, Harry's doing one more. Thank you, Harry. You have to make you a mod at this rate. McGinn's ruled out, is he? Maybe I missed that. Well, no, not that I didn't know that he was injured. Alright, oh, he'd already been ruled out after the break. 50 to 100. Oh, I don't know what to go for. Oh, have I got any meaningful numbers between 50 and 100? Shall I just guess? That came out at 987. So I go 98. 98. If I win again, then it's going to be absolute uproar. Someone's gone 87. We must have gone for everything but. What are we on? 50 to 100? $60 to 90. Oh, it's getting tighter. Surely someone's guessed 69 already. Surely that was like a first guess. Yeah, FPL amateur. Let's go 78. If I win again, I can't afford to win again. Get kicked out. Before this job, I was a maths teacher and used to cause carnage regularly. One number, derailing maths lessons. Oh, Shiraz, you're on a roll. Well done. Right, I think we're probably there then, in terms of updates. I think we've done all the press conferences. We've done all the games. We've answered all the questions. A reminder to go vote for me at the Football Content Awards if you haven't done so already. The link for that is in the description to this video. I will be live tomorrow for the deadline stream. I'm planning on going live at 9:45 tomorrow. So I've dropped the link in the chat. I'll pin it as well. But if you click on the link, then you can press the notify button and you'll basically get a notification when I am live so that you don't miss the deadline stream. It could potentially go earlier than 9:45. I'll see how my morning pans out. It's hair wash day tomorrow, so you just never know how long it's going to take, especially like around the kids and stuff. Got to get them sorted and make sure that they're occupied as well. This does look to be... do seem to be looking to have some tech issues. Shiraz says stand up tomorrow. I'll try. On your way out then, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Can I get the fireworks? There we go. But also, go and raid the Chasing Green Arrows stream. I want you to just drop the number 69 in their chat, and then I won't know what's going on. So go raid Chasing Green Arrows. Just go in the chat and put 69. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the morning.